Check out these limousine tires, son. Super cool. Not exactly what I want, like I said, but I think these are more period correct for the build anyway. Plus, the guy told me these are limousine tires, so it's gonna float. Time for some color. Look at that. I'm having a hard time like aiming the camera and spraying at the same time, so don't fish if the video sucks because I'm working here. Let's just get one done and then I'll show you. Alright, so that's it. I'm probably going to put a red pinstripe right around that outside edge to match the truck. Here, slow down a little bit, but it's been fucking nuts. Alright, ladies. This is the final look. So, I'm going to get the pink pinstripe done around the outside there to kind of match the red stripe on the body. But that's the look. I think it looks pretty clean, actually. I'm real happy with the color match to the body.
Look at that.
All right, so this is the shaft that the Crown Vic did have. This is my new custom shaft. Went super heavy duty on this because, like we talked about, this truck is going to get a shitload. I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking like at least 800 horse or something on the low end, but like, I don't know. I'll probably see 1,000 horse or more. So we went with this big dog, which will handle anything we could throw at it. Progress, progress, progress. This is what we're doing on where we had to cut off. And then we're going to box it all in, put a little tow bar bracket on there, and the bed's up here getting a little bit more trim work. Going to be nasty. I put one of the center caps on the wheels too. Check that out. I like it. And a little bit more boxed in. All right, we keep getting lucky, right? There was a factory hole here that we used, put this spacer in, and it just so happens to sit right on top of the frame rail. So that's that. But this is basically what it looks like underneath it here. You see where the floor is all trimmed out. These are bolted in from up top, and we just pretty much have to, once we get our height perfect by shaving these a little bit, then we'll weld them in, and that will be our mounting point. All right, so we ran into an issue with the height. So basically, we dropped the body and the bed down so much that I wanted to use the original gas fill over here. But the problem is that this is actually lower than the height of the top of the tank. So Josh was like, let me just handle it and do something. And we went with it, and here's what he came up with. So he used the original Crown Vic gas door. These we're going to put rivets in so that, when I'm sliding shit in and out of here, it's smooth. But basically, welded this up on here, put a little lip around it, and it's super sleek, kind of sick. And eventually I'm going to put quarters on this thing. So when we do put quarter panels on it, we are going to raise these doors up and have a factory fill. But until that point, this is how we're going to roll. And I think it came out pretty sick. Doing a little maintenance work, valve cover gaskets, intake. These things always go bad. Serpentine belt tensioner and belt. Dumb shit, but we want to make sure Jimbo is not breaking down. All right, I got the valve covers off. Going to do all new gaskets, and everything actually looks really clean in here. Check it out. Not bad. This thing had like 120K on the odometer, so that's pretty low for these. A lot of them go to like 300,000-400,000. Fresh intake manifold, fresh valve cover gaskets, fresh tensioner. Dumb shit, but you gotta do it. All right, so this is pretty much the last time we're gonna have the rear plate out. Put this in here. This is gonna support the tub. We went through, cut all this out, and left like about a 1/2 inch of overhang, and went through, painted everything, undercoated, you know, weld through, prime everything before we do it. Once it's welded in, we'll get up under there and hit it with some more, you know, some more paint cavity wax. But this is pretty much it. What's up? What's up? About to do the shift cable. Come over here, check this out. So this right here is like some factory. I don't even know what it's for, but I'm going to eliminate this. I'm going to make a bracket right here. I'm going to route the shifter, the shift linkage cable up around here into this bracket, and then tie it in to this stud on the factory shift bracket, or whatever you want to call that. All right, guys, so this is the update on the old Jimbo project, right? The computer went bad during all this, so it held me up a lot. Held me up for almost 2 weeks trying to figure it out, get the part and everything. It's in, everything's all good now. I got the wheels and everything done. You can see this is the stance. Check this out. One thing, I went heavy on the drive shaft. I got a really big, like a 5.5 or 6 inch drive shaft, because this thing's going to get a lot of power put in it next year. So I went as heavy as I could there, but we had to put this bump in the floor here for drive shaft clearance. So what I'm doing now is I got my sound deadener here, and I'm gonna rewrap all this stuff, and I just have to order a custom grommet here because I put this hole here to run all the wiring through, obviously. So I'm gonna loop that through there, and then this is kind of what everything under the dash looks like. None of it's loomed yet, because until I have every single component working perfectly, I'm not going to loom any of it. But you can see, like, everything's super clean. This box over here is like the safety, like the seat module control. Most likely that's not going to be needed. There's 2 wires that I have hooked up, but I'm probably going to delete that. This hanging down, this is all going to get tucked up. That's like for the old gauges. What else? These here are for the brakes. They're going to get integrated into my original ones. You can see how I have the gas pedal mounted. We pretty much just built a bracket right there. Let's see if I can zoom in for you guys and show you that. That's the bracket that we built. My OBD port is right there. I just have it zip tied for now, but I will fasten it correctly. So yeah. You can see that the Crown Vic gauge cluster fits in there nicely. I do have to cut some of this out up top, so that, because this thing needs to get raised up about 1 inch, and then it'll fit perfectly in the original pod. It looks like it came that way. Steering is all, the shifter linkage is all hooked up. I got my dash bolted back in. My HVAC is reinstalled. So we're in the home stretch here. I just got to do a little bit of more sound deadening. I'm going to put the carpet in, and I'll still be able to peel it back to sort that out, but we're close. This is a running, driving, stopping unit now. This is a little bit of a victory lap. This is the first time since the swap that I got the interior back in, and I'm actually sitting in the car chilling, and it's like real nice out, and I'm just pumped. I'm just like, I can't wait to drive it and check it out. Seats in. All I gotta do is put the head unit and the plate back on, make a little mod to here. But like, look down low, right? Like, this carpet up front is not even like fastened in, like, you know, it's got to get all tucked down. But you know, this pedal assembly and everything, once this lower cover is on, it's all gonna look so stock. Like, even the pedals look very similar, if not exactly the same. I'm just really happy with how this all turned out, how everything fit up, and I'm really confident, like, this thing's gonna ride so nice. My goal in doing this was to do it like without cheating as much as possible, right? Like, doing it like a regular person that didn't have a shop would do it, and I think we did pretty good. Like, towards the end I had to cheat a little bit because, like, I just need to get it done, but I did. Like, I started out my driveway. you know, you guys see, I logged the whole thing. And if you're just watching this like clip video, make sure you go through the step-by-step if you're interested, because it's kind of a tutorial, but also like a build log, you know? All right, so I wanted to show you guys, I got everything all mounted up, looks good, but the wheel's rubbing a little bit because I'm using a 17-inch wheel with like a full-size tire, and this thing's pretty squashed, so it's a little tight. So I'm gonna make a little clearance. I'm gonna show you where I'm gonna cut. So this right here holds this whole arch molding on, right? So my plan is this. All this up on the inside is in my way. So I'm gonna cut it here. I'm gonna cut pretty tight along this line right here, all the way up. And pretty much I'm gonna go across right at here and take that corner off. Now, I'm losing all the mounting hardware up in this center, and I realize that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove this. I'm gonna double side tape inside this wheel arch, and that'll be completely fine. It's not gonna hurt anything. All right, so I got it all cut out. I seam sealed it. I'm gonna go and blow a little color over that just so it's not bare metal. So I'm still left with some space here, and this is still a little bit low for my liking. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna heat this in hopes that I can get it to bolt to that upper area right there. And I'll just use some self-tappers or something like that. And then the same thing right here. I'm going to kind of just try to heat and bend this around and screw it to this area up here. See if it works. All right, check it out. I'll try and get some light here. This is about what it looks like. I did seam seal the two where I, you know, and this will dry. Like I just sprayed, it's wet. It looks kind of stupid, but once it dries, it'll look nice because right here is about where the wheel liner is going to go. So everything behind it should be blacked out up in there. Let me get up on it close so you can see. Now that little bit of space that you're seeing here, that's just from the molding. But I cut all that out. I double side taped it. And you can barely tell. And that gave me another 2.5 inches or so of wheel clearance. So hell yeah.